They say history has a strange way of repeating itself. And for Olivia Jade, that might be happening right now. Just days after the shocking news that her parents, Loughlin and Mossimo Giannulli, have officially separated after nearly 3 decades of marriage, Olivia has re-emerged in public for the first time. And while she might have looked calm and confident walking into a Paris Fashion Week show, fans couldn't help but wonder, was this really just a fashion statement, or a carefully timed message? Because when you grow up in a family that's lived through national scandal, a quiet appearance can speak louder than any post. And Olivia's timing, just as her parents' breakup made headlines, has everyone asking the same question. Is she silently rewriting her family's story? Or reliving it all over again? The news hit like a thunderclap across Hollywood. After 28 years together, Loughlin and Mossimo Giannulli are officially taking a break. People confirmed on October 2nd that the couple, once seen as one of Hollywood's rare long-lasting love stories, has decided to separate. Their representative carefully worded it. They're living apart and taking a break from their marriage. But fans know what that usually means. No legal filings yet, no explosive statements, just a quiet pause. That speaks volumes. And if you've followed this couple for years, you could almost sense it coming. Back in February, they listed their massive Hidden Hills mansion, a $16.5 million property they'd bought just a few years earlier. It looked like a simple real estate move at first, until the pieces started to connect. Now people are realising that the sale might have been the first visible crack in what looked like an unshakable marriage. Because when a couple who's survived scandal, prison time, and public backlash suddenly decides to go their separate ways, it's not just another breakup. It's the quiet collapse of a Hollywood empire that once seemed bulletproof. Just days after the world learned about her parents' split, Olivia Jade stepped out in Paris. And it wasn't just any outing. The 26-year-old influencer appeared at Copernic's Paris Fashion Week show, dressed in a crisp white mini dress, black heels, and dark sunglasses that covered half her face. Chic, polished, and unbothered, at least on the surface. But the timing couldn't be ignored. This was her first public appearance since the breakup news, and fans online were quick to analyse every detail. Her outfit, her expression, even the way she walked. Some said she looked strong and independent, while others claimed she was using fashion as armour to hide what she might be feeling inside. Because for Olivia, fashion isn't just about trends, it's a language. And showing up in Paris in front of the cameras right after a family crisis, that was a statement. A reminder that while her parents' marriage may be unravelling, she's still in control of her own narrative. Yet, as she smiled for photos under the Parisian lights, many couldn't help but wonder, was this confidence real? Or was Olivia simply playing the same media game she grew up watching her parents master? For most families, a college acceptance letter is a proud milestone, but for the Giannullis, it became the headline that nearly destroyed them. Back in 2020, the college admissions scandal shook Hollywood to its core, and Loughlin and Mossimo Giannulli were right at the centre of it. The couple was accused of paying $500,000 to get their daughters, Olivia Jade and Isabella Rose, into USC, by pretending they were athletic recruits for the crew team. The twist? Neither of them had ever rowed a single race. The fallout was instant. Laurie, once America's beloved TV mom, saw her career crumble overnight. Mossimo's reputation in the fashion world evaporated just as fast. Both pleaded guilty to wire and mail fraud, served prison time, and faced years of public backlash that turned their last name into a punchline. For Olivia, it was even worse. The YouTube star lost brand deals, fans turned on her, and her influencer career flatlined. She disappeared from social media, then slowly tried to rebuild her image. One apology, one vlog, one tearful podcast at a time. And even though she's now smiling at fashion shows again, the shadow of that scandal still follows her. Because the truth is, the Giannulli family has never really escaped the label of Hollywood privilege gone wrong. And now, with her parents' marriage unravelling, it almost feels like the scandal's ghost has come knocking one more time. After years of silence and public shame, Loughlin finally broke the ice in April 2024, and her words surprised everyone. In her first major interview since the scandal, Laurie didn't dodge questions or try to justify the past. Instead, she spoke about forgiveness, healing, and learning to let go. "I try to be a forgiving person," she said softly. It was a glimpse into a woman who had been through the fire and was still trying to find peace. Fans were divided. Some called it genuine redemption, others said it sounded rehearsed. But for Laurie, this wasn't about image. It was about survival. She'd lost everything. Her reputation, her career, and now, slowly, her marriage. Behind the polished quotes and the carefully managed tone, there was a clear subtext. Forgiveness was easier to preach than to live. Because while she publicly spoke of grace and second chances, her family was privately unravelling. The interview painted a picture of someone trying to rebuild not just a career, but a family foundation cracked by scandal and resentment. And now, just months later, with news of her separation breaking, that message of forgiveness feels more like a haunting reminder that sometimes letting go means losing the people you once fought hardest to hold on to. If you think Olivia Jade's life has only been about scandal and fashion, think again. Her love life has been just as headline-grabbing. Earlier this year, news broke that Olivia had split from actor Jacob Elordi, the Euphoria star she had been dating on and off since 2021. Fans were quick to speculate, comparing the drama in her relationship to the public ups and downs of her parents' marriage. But just a month later, sources confirmed something surprising. Olivia and Jacob were seeing each other again. They hadn't just patched things up, they were spending time together, talking constantly, and even appeared at events side by side. The parallels are hard to ignore. Olivia grew up watching her parents navigate long-term commitment, scandal, and public scrutiny. And now, in her own way, she's experiencing the same cycles of separation, reconciliation, and the struggle to maintain a private life under the world's gaze. Even more telling, those close to the couple say that Olivia's family actually likes Jacob, and that their social circles overlap. It's a reminder that while her romantic life is personal, it's also deeply intertwined with the public image of the family she's trying to rebuild. Her on and off romance isn't just gossip fodder, it's a reflection of a young woman learning to navigate love, loyalty, and legacy, all while the world is watching every move. From the outside, the Giannullis always looked like the picture-perfect Hollywood family. Glamorous red carpets, polished Instagram posts, and a lifestyle most could only dream of. But behind the curated smiles, the story was far messier. Years of scandal, legal battles, and public scrutiny left invisible cracks. There were whispered tensions at home, silent disagreements, and the constant pressure to maintain appearances, no matter the cost. Olivia Jade grew up in the middle of it, learning early that what the world sees isn't always the truth. Every smile for the cameras, every flawless photo, was a careful performance. Now, with her parents' separation making headlines, that hidden reality is harder to ignore. Olivia's recent Paris appearance wasn't just about fashion. It was her stepping into the spotlight with poise, showing the world she's still in control, even when the foundation beneath her is shaky. It's a reminder that Hollywood perfection is often just a mask. And for the Giannulli family, the gap between image and real life has never been wider, leaving fans wondering what the real story is behind closed doors. So where does the Giannulli family go from here? That's the question everyone's asking. And the answer might depend on whether they can truly leave the past behind. Insiders say Loughlin and Mossimo are still on good terms, keeping things respectful and amicable, especially for their daughters. There are no legal filings yet, and some even believe this might just be a cooling-off period rather than a final goodbye. But after 28 years and everything they've endured, from federal trials to public humiliation, rebuilding that kind of bond might be impossible. For Olivia Jade, the next chapter could define her entire legacy. She's slowly regained footing in the influencer world, rebuilding her brand with a mix of authenticity and subtle rebranding. But with her parents' separation now dominating headlines again, she's walking a fine line between empathy and exhaustion, trying to stay visible without being dragged back into the storm. Some reports hint that she's focusing on fashion partnerships and international appearances, using her independence as a quiet statement. She's no longer just Loughlin's daughter. She's carving her own path, even if it means standing alone. But the question remains, will the Giannullis ever escape their past, or are they destined to live under its shadow forever? Because in Hollywood, forgiveness fades fast. But family drama never really disappears. At the end of the day, this story isn't just about a famous family falling apart. It's about what happens when forgiveness, fame, and family collide. The Giannullis have lived through public shame, rebuilt their image, and now face the kind of heartbreak no spotlight can hide. Olivia Jade may look calm in Paris, but behind the designer shades lies a question that every fan is asking. Can you ever truly move on from a past the world won't let you forget? Maybe this separation isn't just an ending. Maybe it's a reset, a painful but necessary step toward real healing, away from cameras, scandals, and expectations. So now it's your turn. What do you think? Will Laurie and Mossimo find their way back to each other after nearly 3 decades together? Or is this the moment Olivia finally steps out of her parents' shadow and builds her own story, once and for all? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because one thing's for sure, in Hollywood, every ending is just the setup for the next headline.